Hey everybody, this is Brother Graham. I'm the owner of Joiner Vending, and I'm back here with another video for my YouTube channel. So the first thing I want to do is I want to apologize for not releasing any new videos over the past few months. I've been extremely busy with growing my vending business. You know, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you'll know that I created a vending course. I also have a vending ebook version of the course. I do consultation for people looking to get into vending business. And I've also been working on the business for the past 6 months that I'm hoping could be launched any day now. But with the self-quarantine going on, I thought it would be very cool for me to release another video at a time like this. So every day I get asked questions, you know, along the lines of how much money do you need to get started in the vending business? Where can someone find machines? And how did I get started in the vending business? But there's one question I'm always asked that I feel compelled to answer whenever it's asked. And that's, how did I change my mindset? How did I change my mindset to feel comfortable investing in the vending business and taking that leap of faith? So as everyone knows that I moved from New York to Philadelphia 2 years ago. And with that move, you know, I put myself in a position to be as successful as I am today. Now, I wasn't always, you know, in this position. I wasn't always in a position to make as much money as I'm making. I wasn't always in a position to have a positive mindset. But, you know, I did take that leap of faith. So one of the things that really helped me take a leap of faith was getting tired of being in the position that I was in. Now, I went to school. I have a bachelor's in political science. I have a master's in developmental disabilities, and I couldn't find a great job. It seemed like I started to cap out, you know, especially back at home in Rochester, New York. It seemed like I, you know, went from direct support. You know, that's why I work with people who had disabilities. And, you know, I kind of worked my way up to being a manager, and it just seemed like I didn't have any more room to grow. You know, I started saving my money. I, you know, was looking to get into the real estate business, but it didn't seem like it was happening fast enough for me. And, you know, I was tired of being in the position I was in. You know, I was looking around at everyone that I was around. And, you know, we all report. You know, we all was in the struggle. You know, we all was looking for ways out. You know, I thank God that I had a support system, you know, such as my mother, my grandfather, my father, you know, who always told me that I was going to be somebody successful and that, you know, I need to start putting myself in that position, you know, and trying to separate myself from there. You know, so when I moved to Philadelphia, I had $10,000. I owed some bills back at home. So I think I spent about $2,000 to take care of those bills. I had $1,000 that I, you know, kept to myself to take care of myself until I found a job in Philadelphia. And then I used the other $7,000 on the vending business. Now I'm here to tell you that, you know, you don't need to spend nowhere near that much amount of money to, you know, get into the vending business. You know, I overspent it. If you look in the course, you know, that you'll see how much I really think you should spend when getting in the vending business. But like I said, so, you know, my mindset started to change, you know, when I honestly started to make money in the vending business. You know, when I started to see that that was possible, you know, that's when my mindset really changed. You know, when I first spent the money, I had no idea, you know, that I was going to do as well as I was doing. I just was tired, like I said, being in the same position I was in. So I said, you know, the worst thing that can happen is I end up back at home. I get a job that I'm familiar working with, you know, maybe live with family that I'm familiar being around, and, you know, just start from there. But I knew that I needed to do something different. You know, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results, you know, and as we know the definition of insanity, you know, that's what it is. So by me taking that leap of faith, I put myself in a great position. Now, with taking that leap of faith, a lot of stuff comes with it. As you know, I went viral, and going viral has had a tremendous impact on my life. It's also has some, you know, negativity that's been associated with it, you know, whether it's family or friends not really being there around me anymore because of that. Because as I continue to grow, you know, I noticed that some people wanted me to be at a certain level. You know, they felt comfortable with me being the guy who might have had 2 vending machines and, you know, didn't do too much with it. But once I started to grow, started to make money, started to, you know, be recognized for doing this, I started to notice some people kind of shift. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. You know, one thing that I know is that You know, when you start putting yourself first, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable prior putting myself first because, you know, you're told that being selfish is wrong. And I'm here to tell you that being selfish is not wrong whatsoever. You cannot be where you want to be in life unless you become selfish. Whether you have kids, whether you have a spouse, family, you have to take care of yourself first in order to really look out for them. And like I said, I was so nervous doing that. You know, I never wanted to offend anyone. I never wanted to, do too much. I never wanted to, put myself too much, because I didn't want anyone to think, this guy's selfish. He look out for himself. He, things like that. And that's what happened when I started to become successful, because I spent so much time looking out for everyone else that I never really took the time to look out for myself. And once I looked out for myself, it made people uncomfortable. And, when people are uncomfortable, a lot of times people, move out of that situation. They might leave away. They might not talk to you again. That's, whatever people do when they feel uncomfortable is what people started to do with me. And initially it did bother me. But, I started to realize, like, man, this is just the natural progression of being successful. This is what happens, I believe, to everyone who becomes successful. You're going to reach a point where people are going to distance themselves because they're going to be uncomfortable with this new you. And it's not really a new you. It's just that this is the version of you that you need to be in order to be successful. And, my mindset changing has really helped me be able to take that on, because if I didn't change my mindset and know that I needed to make changes, I would have never felt comfortable with some of those changes being, not just with success, but with people around me that I love, man. I'm here to tell you, there's some people that I really love that are no longer around me. And it's because I started to put myself first. I started to change my mindset and saying I needed to put myself first. I started to do everything that made me happy. And when I started to do that, like I said, people just was uncomfortable. And don't feel bad about it, man. Don't feel bad about it at all. Like, the version of you that puts yourself first is going to be the best version of you. You're going to set an example for your kids. You're going to set an example if you have siblings. You're going to set an example for even your family, your parents. Like my parents are, in their 40s and 50s, and they tell me that they really look up to me, which is very humbling to me, and some of them, they didn't get it. Some of them didn't get why I was doing what I was doing, why I, moved away, why I, was busy all the time. They didn't really get it. They thought I was, just distancing myself, or I was just kind of thinking crazy, investing that amount of money into some vending machines where there's no guarantee. They didn't really get it. But me saying, you know what, I got to do this. I got to make a move. I got to do this. And I started to show results. They started to understand, like, wow, you know what? No, we was all wrong, and it's kind of propelled them to start, doing for themselves. It propelled them to start putting themselves first, It's never too late to make a change. As long as you're living and breathing, you have time to make a change to your mindset. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be easy to do. It's going to take some time. It's going to be a process. But it's a process that you got to be willing to go through. I've had loss after loss after loss before I got my wins. But it wasn't the losses that stuck with me. It was the wins. Knowing that I can win is what made me realize that I can, be successful. I fell in love with the process of winning. I knew that if I took these steps, I would put myself in the position to be successful. Not necessarily I was going to automatically win if I took these steps, but I knew that I stood a greater chance if I did that. And I knew if I did that over and over and over again, that eventually I was going to win, and I was going to win big. And, if you're looking at this story right now, then you can see that I did win big. And that's what I want everyone who's watching this video to understand, that it's not going to happen overnight. And changing your mindset is not something that you can do overnight. But I promise you, if you really stick with it, if you actively look to change your mindset, actively look to do better for yourself, actively look to put yourself first, you're going to be successful. I thank everyone who's going to watch this video. If you have some people that you think should watch this video, you recommend it to them, please do so. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you can do that at Brother Graham. You can follow me on Instagram at IamBrother_Graham. I'm here for everyone. If you want to talk, whether it's about business, vending business, if you want to talk about just life, anything, you can always reach out to me, because I want you to know that I am your Brother Graham.